All right, so here I share with you the content for today's lesson. So first, I'm going to intro first, and then I'm going to show you how to create a two type of curve, which is horizontal curve beam and vertical curve beam. And also I will show you how to create a beam system, which the beam system is attaching to the curve beam. All right, and then lastly, I'm going to show you how to create, how to edit the trusses design beam from a straight beam design to a curve design. All right. Okay. So first is the introduction. So why we need a curve beam? So a curve beam, the purpose of curve beam is to achieve the balance between the aesthetic and also the practical, especially when there are a straight line that is unable to meet the structural or to meet the space requirement of the project. So in Revit, there are beam and also there are curve beam. So curve beam is actually the structure framing element that travel in a non-linear fashion. So which means you can draw a curve beam in Revit using the non-linear beam, but you design it as a curve beam. All right. So this is because they are generate. Oh, sorry. A moment. Hello? 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 Okay. Hello? All right. So, okay, let me continue. Sorry, just now I heard some. All right. So let me continue from just now. Okay. So actually, a curve beam you can generate in Revit using the beam tools that the ordinary beam tools. So this is because they are generated using the art or SP line tools rather than a conventional straight beam. So beam can also a curve beam can be generated using the art or SP line, and then they can bend vertically or in elevation view or horizontally in a plan view, right? So other than you create the curve beam using the beam tools, you can also design the curve beam using the trusses design. So uh, I will show you how to create the vertical beam, horizontal beam, and also editing the trusses design to a curve. All right. So let me show you. Hopefully you can see my screen. Okay, so here, as you can see, I already create a simple design. So which is this design include the three element that I show you, the four elements, sorry, the four element that I mentioned before, which is the first one is the vertical, is the horizontal curve beam. Second one is the vertical curve beam. And then this is the beam system that connected to the curve beam. So this beam system, you can use it as a purlin for your trusses and also a trusses design that has curve in it. All right. So let me show you the first one. The first one is just a horizontal beam. And horizontal beam, usually we draw it in the structural plan view. So I go to this project browser, I go to level 1, and then from here I already draw my grid line, my slab, I only insert my column. So what I want right now, I want a curve beam horizontally at grid line AB. Sorry, AC. All right. So to do that, I just simply go to structural tab. And from here, I have beam. So as I mentioned, you just use a beam tools. So from here, if I click on this one, and as you can see, it will automatically pop up these draw tools. And from here, as you can see, we have the curve tools. So either you want to use the start and radius art, or you can also use center and art. So this is like a AutoCAD tools, okay, AutoCAD curve tool. So if you, the name itself is the way you want to draw it. So start and radius art, which is you position where you want to start the curve, and then end point of your curve, and then the radius. So I'm going to use this one. All right, so I just simply go to grid line A1 here. All right, start. I want to start here. And then I go to grid line C, this one. And then I can create a curved beam like that. Okay, so just simply create a simple curved beam here, like that. And if I go to 3D view, oh, sorry, I see, sorry. Before that, we need to change the position of the level. A moment. Let me just draw it again. So actually, I need to go to level 3. I'm sorry. Okay, so I go to level 3, beam, and then I'm using the start and radius art. And from here, I just repeat the same step lah. Okay, right, so like that, and then a curved beam. All right, and if I go to 3D view, I will have my curved beam position right there. Okay, so this curved beam is horizontally drawn. So you can design it, you can use it as a straight beam that you draw in your project. If you want to change the size, you can just click on the beam that you draw. You can change it here to the size. For example, I want to change to 300, like that, so it will change. Okay, let's say you want to create a notch, so you can also create a notch. Click a notch here, so select the beam, select the click on control keys and select the column, so it will cut. You can see it will cut. Okay, so you can treat your curved beam as a ordinary beam, as a straight beam. Okay, because it's a non-linear beam. Okay, for example, I do it from this part also. Okay. This big. Okay. And sorry, a moment. It didn't respond. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. A moment. Revit. Let me open my Revit again. It's just I suddenly shutting down. Okay, so you continue from the last part. All right. So you can treat it as your ordinary beam. So if you want to create like say I want to create both sides, the horizontal beam, yes, you can do that. You can do copy, you can mirror it. So for example, I want to mirror it to the other side. So I just click on the beam, and then I click on draw mirror. So I just going to place it at the here, and then it will also reflect to the other side. So you can treat it as the straight beam. Okay, so this is the horizontal beam. You can use the tools just now. You can use the SP line as usual. All right. So let's say I want to create a vertical beam. For example, I want to create a trusses, like a curved trusses. So I don't want to use the trusses design. I don't want to use the truss tool. I want to create a beam. And then a beam is going to be the trusses for my structure. Okay, so to do that, first thing I need to open the elevation view, because you want to draw a vertical beam. You need to make sure you are in an elevation view. So I'm going to open its elevation here, and then from here, let me just bring this grid up. All right. So from here, it's the same tool, which is a beam tool. So go to structure, go to beam, and then because we are in a east elevation, so it will ask you to choose a work plane. So usually beam, you just only can draw in structure plan. But if let's say you want to create a a vertical beam, you need to choose a work plane. Okay, so usually I will choose my grid line. So just now, let me cancel this one. Okay, just now, as you can see, I have my grid line, my vertical grid line here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grid line. So I'm going to use this grid line as my work plane for my vertical beam. Okay, let me do it again. Beam. And then from here, you can specify the new work plane for your vertical beam. So I just click on name because I didn't create a plane. So I need to use the grid line just now. So name, none, click on none. And then from here, I will choose grid line number 5. Okay. So I click on OK. So then you can draw it. You can see, now I can draw. I can use the same tools just now. So let me just click on that one. All right. And then I want to change the size. Let's say this one. Okay, so I start at this point, point C, until point A, and then I create the curve like that. All right. And then it's the same as you draw in horizontal. You want to drag the beam longer. All right. You can also do that. And then you can also do the notch just now. All right. So it's here. You can see this is the curve beam. Then I can do notch just now. Let me do the notch. Okay. So click on modify, notch, click the tools. You can see it will cut. Okay. Click the two column and beam, and then it will cut. Okay, so the behavior of your beam is same as the linear beam. Okay, and then let's say I want to copy to every grid. So I go back to level side view. Okay, side plan view. So this one is the curve, and then I just can copy and then make sure constraint and multiple and copy to every grid line like this. Okay, this one, and last one here. Oh, sorry. Okay, and the last one is here. All right, so that is how you create the vertical curve beam. And then next one, I mentioned I want to show you how to create the purlin or the beam system that attaching to the curve beam. So usually if you want to create a beam system, we will create a boundary, or it will only attaching the beam to the straight beam. It didn't attach to the curve. So I want to show you how to create a beam system that attach to the curve beam. Okay, so to do that, first let me just check if it's connected or not. So first, I want to notch for every curve beam to the column. So this is why didn't it copy for every curve beam? Because I use a notch. I didn't use the steel notch, this one. Okay. So let me just do that for every column like that. So it's cut, it's connected to the column. Okay, this one, then this one. Okay. So make sure it's cut. See, it's cut for it's cut the beam according to the column shape. Oh, sorry. Okay. All right. So make sure it's cut like that. And then I can do the beam system. So to do the beam system, usually you can do in the structure plan. You want to do it in 3D view also can, but I personally like to draw it in the side view or in the structural plan view. Okay, so I draw it on the side view. Okay, because why side view? Because I can see the curve beam. If I go to level 3, I cannot see the curve beam, right? So I go to structure again, structure tab, and then from here I click on this beam system. So I click on this beam system, and then need to use the automatic beam system tools because we already have our curve placement. So you don't need to sketch. You need to draw automatically beam system tool. You need to make sure it's connected uh, to the curve beam. All right. And then next is you need to make sure these 3D box are on. Okay, which means it will also connect to the curve beam. All right, so click on this one. All right, so the beam system, you can actually fix the distance. You can actually change the layout rule. So for example, just now I show you, sorry, because this one need to open it again. Okay, so I have the purlin placement. I have the distance between the purlin. I want to change the type of the beam. So everything you can set it in here. Okay, so again, beam system, make sure it's automatically using the automatic beam system tools, and then make sure it's turned on the 3D snapping. All right, and then this is the layout. So you want to make sure every purlin that you add along your curve have a fixed distance. So you can use the fixed distance. So I want to change the distance to 2000 right here. You can also do it here or in the properties box also can. Okay, it reflected the same way. And then I want to change the beam type. Okay, maybe I using the smaller one. Okay, maybe this UB 172. So use this one, and then I bring my cursor to the uh to the view. Can see if I click on this one, it will show me the reference line. So reference line, this one is indicate the placement of your beam system. So if I click, then let me go to 3D view. You can see. Let me finish. Continue. Right. You can see it will automatically follow the setting that I choose just now. Okay, so you need to make sure you click on 3D snapping. So for example, if I didn't click on 3D snapping, this one, I place it here, it's the same. You see, you can see it's the same design, same placement. But if I go to 3D view, it will place in on the bottom of your structure, of your design. Okay, so it will not follow the curve design, the curve shape. All right, so while when you do a beam system, you want to make sure it's connected to the curve. You need to make sure it's connected, it's on the 3D snapping. And then let me click on the place again. And then I want to make it at the end. So 3D, oh, sorry. Okay, so like that. You can see. Sorry, this not this one. Okay, finish. So 3D. So as you can see, oops, this one didn't connect. Let me do it again. Yeah, this one. Okay. So also can. Beam system, 3D. Oh, I think because it didn't connect. Connect. Okay, I need to reconnect the structure. A moment. 3D. Side. The beam are not connected properly. A moment. Move this way. Okay, let me try it again. Go to the side view. Structure, beam system. Moment. One copy. Okay. Shell beam system. Okay, now it's connected to the curved beam. All right, so let that finish. Okay, so as you can see, using the beam system, you can also do the purlin design and then make it connected to the curved beam like this. All right, and then last one, I want to show you how to change the design of your trusses from a straight trusses to a curved trusses. So to do that, I'm going to create the trusses here, okay, at this column, you can see. So I'm going to open level 2, and then this is the area I want to add the trusses. So I go to structure tab, and then there is a truss tool. So click on that one. And then I'm just going to use the flat trusses because I want to change the design. I'm going to use a flat truss. And then I'm going to click on these line tools. So start from this C1 grid line to to D1 grid line. And then D1 to D3. And then D3 to C3. Like that. If I go to 3D view, 3D view. As you can see, this is the trusses. So I want to change the design. I want to make it a curved design trusses. So to do that, it's same as you draw the purlin just now. You want to create at 3D view also can. If you want to create at the east elevation view also can. So let's say I want to create at the 3D view. So I click on the trusses that I want to change the design. I go to this cube. You can see this is a 3D cube. I click on the right view. So it will only focusing on this structure trusses. So from here, I want to change the bottom beam to a curve, from this straight beam to a curved beam. So to change the design of your trusses, you just click on the trusses, and then there is a edit profile tools up here. So click on that one. So it will show you two parallel line, which is for the top uh, design, for the top line and the bottom line. I want to change the bottom line. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the straight line. And then as you can see, it have a same tools as you draw the beam just now. Okay, same like AutoCAD tools, all right? So I'm going to use the same start and radius art draw tools. Before that, I need to make sure now I'm drawing the curve for the bottom chord, which is the bottom line. So I click on the bottom chord and then click on start and radius art and then just simply draw the curve here. Okay, radius around 70, like that. And then finish. And then you can see it will change the design from the straight beam just now to a curved beam. Okay, you can also apply at the top chord just now. All right, if you want to apply for both chord, okay, you just click on again, and then first thing, make sure you delete the existing line. All right, top chord, curve. This is example. Like that. Right, finish. Then you have a curved trusses like that. Right? Okay. So that is how you create a curved beam in Revit. Okay, either you want to create a horizontal, a vertical beam, and then you can also link each curved beam with purlin, okay, like a beam, like a connection beam, right, for the trusses. And you can also change the trusses design, which is a beam, using the beam element, and then change it to a curved design like this. All right.